Welcome back to the Holy Rollers Campaign 2 Advexpedition. We are the Holy Rollers, once again short, but this time with a different member. Kyle is back. Dennis is off doing Dennis things, so we will still have one cardboard cutout. As always, we will open every night with prayer. And did anyone get above an 18? Well, that means Steph and I have to roll because I also got an 18.
All right. I rolled a 1, so I think it's you.
You have to sing.
No. We're trying to draw people to Jesus, not scare them away.
I mean, he takes us as we are. There's many a person in a worship service that has no business singing, but their heart and their spirit is singing, and that's what matters.
And I'm one of them.
All right, let's go before the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this week. We ask a blessing on this evening, the story that we are telling collectively as Christians, as gamers, as friends. Bless this night. Bless the rolls both for and against. And we ask for those that are listening live and for those that are listening after the fact, the story would touch them. There would be fun and that your creative spirit would be felt. We ask all this and more in the name of your Son. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so last time, our soon-to-be named group of adventurers sat down for breakfast after being assembled, and through a collection of, let's say, colorful events, some of which the DM thought would result in inter-party conflicts, and the first roll of initiative would not be against monsters, but against each other. I have to laugh, but at the time, I was having a minor existential crisis. Our collective team split into two directions to do their shopping, some going to the general store and others going to the magic shop. So it was Minerva and Cinnamon that went over to the magic shop. Giovanni's glamorous gears. Unfortunately, the majority of things that they were looking for were out of stock. The rest of the team went to the Bartholomew's bargain bin and got most of what they needed, thanks to Ully's persuasion as well as generous tip. And during these two excursions, Bram took care of some business on the side that needed to be taken care of. And as he is proceeding to exit from the tavern towards the front gate, we are going to return to the present as Minerva and Cinnamon have begun walking back from Giovanni's to join the rest of their team in Hector's Herbs.
Yeah, Ully and I think it was Drakthor and I don't remember if
It was
Basil
Ully,
was there.
Drakthor, and Basil. Basil, you had gone
Yeah.
with the general store group.
Gotcha. Bazil.
we were
Sorry,
we
Bazil.
were actually heading to the apothecary.
Yes. Which you were informed, Ully, that Hector's was just down the street catty corner from Bartholomew's.
So yeah, we'll head right in.
So you head in. Once again, there's actually a little bit of a line to get in. You have been told by your team handler, Finn, that the general store and the apothecary were the closest ones to you, with Giovanni's being the only magic store in the city, which is why Minerva and Cinnamon went there. So even for the local apothecary, there may be others. There's still just a little bit of a line to get in, probably about a 3-minute wait to get in.
Quick question, DM. What was the name of the gentleman that I did business in the general store?
You actually did not ask.
Okay. But All right, then I would like to. I'm going to try something. We'll say this. I would like to, in a stage whisper that is, that everybody can hear, but I want it to be like I'm pretending that I'm trying not to make me heard. I want to lean down to Basil and whisper, I wonder if that clerk at the general store knew that that sword was magical.
Wouldn't have a clue myself.
So my goal is to encourage some of the other patrons to go check out the general store.
All right. Let's say, just go ahead and roll a persuasion or deception of your choice. And I'm just going to roll a general. Okay.
That was an 8.
An 8.
Can I cast guidance on him?
He was leading down to speak to you. I will allow it if you can explain to me, Basile, how you are choosing to guide this. I'm going to be as much of a stickler on the guidance to try and. You're going to have to earn your guidances now, buddies.
Well,
Sell me.
I wouldn't know myself what a magical sword looks like. However, now that you mention it, I guess there was kind of an aura about it of some sorts. It just seemed off.
All right. Ully, go ahead and add that D4.
All right, that brings it to a 10.
One or two heads kind of look back and kind of suspiciously give you a look, but no one leaves the line. You are off by 1.
Ah.
About 2 minutes go by. And as you get towards about 3 people away from being let into the apothecary, Ully, you feel a little tug on the trail of your jacket. Or the tail of your jacket.
All right. I'd like to spin around and grab at the little urchin, if that's what it is. I'm expecting some sort of pickpocket, so that's what I'm going for.
Okay, so you spin around and you see nobody. Tug on the jacket again.
All right. I will look around again, put my hands out to feel.
Okay. You know what? Just because we're already on this, give me a perception.
Wow, that was terrible. 11.
You're looking around, and you're not seeing anyone. Basile, go ahead and give me a perception as well, as the line keeps moving.
All right.
You don't know how Ully is somehow completely missing the little kobold hanging off of his jacket. So each way he turns, it's like a jacket. This little kobold is like, oh, God. Yep.
Ully?
He's not looking down.
Ully. I point to the kobolds.
I'll
Think you got a friend there.
do I recognize the kobolds?
You do not.
Okay. Can I help you, sir? Ma'am? Whatever.
Oh, yes, you can. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear you say something about magic sword.
There might be one over in the general store that you might have seen. That was all. I was just commenting to my friend. But you know, it is not polite to listen in on others' conversations.
I'm so sorry, Well, when I'm lower to the ground, I have to be able to be better at hearing what people are saying.
Well, that does not mean that you should also clamor up.
Oh, I was not trying to clamor. I was simply trying to get your attention. You then spun around and I kind of held on for dear life.
Well, you are now no longer being spun. Would you please extricate yourself from my person?
This little green kobold kind of drops down. I should describe this little kobold. So, Bazil, and Drakthor is with you at the moment. Bazil, you have... Kobolds are a race you are familiar with in name alone. Not many have ever made it as far north to Arundel. You are aware of the race, but this would be the first time you have ever seen one. Ully, go ahead and, you know what? Give me a percentage. 2d10.
Uh, 59.
59. Okay. You've seen about 3 or 4 over the years. Very reclusive for the most part. So, you've had minor dealings, mainly bartering for supplies every once in a while, or seen one in the distance. This might be your 3rd ever direct interaction with one. But you don't remember the kobold looking so dapper. Its dress is still plain, but there is an odd regalness to it. It's put together. It's still poor, but it looks cared for, expertly patched. It doesn't come across as rags. Hair went into this garment. It gives that slight, almost sense of nobility.
Can I do an insight check just to get a read? Is that like the character is matching the clothing, or is this just someone presenting a false front?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a insight.
I am rolling balls. That's an 8.
You can't really tell. It could be genuine. There's not enough there you think it might be a farce, so it might be genuine.
Oh, my good sir. Since we have become very well acquainted in such a short time, as you have thoroughly investigated my coat, it seems, can I get your name?
That's me. I am Kakro.
Acro.
Kakro.
Acro, it is nice to meet you. I am Ully. These are my companions. This is Drakthor, And Basil.
He goes to Basile first.
Deal.
Pleasure. He holds up his little clawed pan.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, little buddy.
Looks up at Draxthor. If I offer you my hand, are you going to bite it off?
Maybe.
Draxthor turns around and gives the kobold his back / posterior.
Oh.
Let's hope for the best. So, Mr. Ully, you said something about that sword. You said about the general store. Is that correct?
Perhaps. Like I said, it is rude to listen in on other people's conversations.
Oh, I try to find deals wherever I might find deals.
Oh. What kind of deals are you into? Are you buying deals or selling?
I've done a little bit of both, buying and selling. For the moment, it's simply seeing what are the best bargains while trying to restock up for this adventure.
Ah. Well, this is the time. I don't suppose you are looking to give any bargains in the case of anything medical, or...
I'm not associated with this at all. No, not with this shop, no. I was just simply passing by and happened to
I'm just seeing if you might have come across anything that might be helpful to someone that is going on the expedition, such as myself.
He's gonna roll insight on you. Be careful of Dragonbone. Not all are civil as they may appear. And unfortunately run afoul, not even by slight, just by sight. They don't like us. I think I shall take you up and to look into that general store. A good day to you, Messieurs Ully, Basile, and to you, Draxthor. A good day.
Acro, it's a pleasure to meet you. Good luck.
You as well. And he will scamper into the crowd. By which point you have reached the door to Hector's.
Well, Azil, shall we? Draxthor? Let's see what we can find.
We shall.
Drax pushes the door open, using his mass to kind of like throw it open.
And I would like to try and dexterously kind of dart or maneuver my way through whoever might be in my way so that I can also take a look, try and look over people's heads and try and see if I can find anything that has not quite been picked over quite yet. Or if there's nothing, if we're like the general store, just kind of try and make my way towards the counter.
It's similar to the general store in that there seems to be only one extra guard in here. There's a smattering of people here and there. There's a lot more dried herbs and other ingredients on this side of the counter. You would recognize it as a more common, easily accessible type. Behind the counter, you see that they have moved the more rare and potent ingredients, and any vials might be purchasable are all behind the counter, where a second armed guard is next to a smattering of gnomes on stools.
Well, I will take
What's the plan here, Ully?
5. Well, I'm going to try the same thing that worked before at the general store, and I'm going to take 5 gold and place it on the counter. So, gentlemen, for your time. And I will slide the 5 gold across the counter. If I could, take a moment of your time, if you would indulge me. We are, as I'm sure you are aware, some of those going on the expedition, we just want to make sure that we have some supplies that might help us as we face whatever dangers might befall us.
Oh, I see. Whatever comes your way. What can I put you down for? Just to see if we have it in stock.
Well, I am looking for a healing kit, herbalism kit. Any potions you might have, common or otherwise. Anything anti-poison.
Poison. Yes.
Any glass vials you may have. I'm looking for just a couple more to add to my collection. Azil, anything for you?
Oh, you're about the same size as I am. Anything for you?
In addition to his list, I'd also like to acquire any deadly poisons as well as non-deadly poisons you might have. Do not ask, Ully.
I wasn't going to. We are, after all, going on an interesting adventure. I am sure there'll be occasions to use both.
Poisons for you. Draxthor?
Oh.
He's just kind of looking around. He seems to be in a bit more of a foul mood. And he does not say anything. Now, will this be together? In terms of coin or separate?
This would be together.
I can see what I can find.
While she goes back there, Bazil's gonna look around at the common herbs, not behind the counter, and stock up on anything common yet highly effective.
Okay. And what specific kind of herbs are you looking for? The type you would use for your food? Types that you would
Healing
use?
and food. I'm gonna say healing and food.
Healing and food, okay. Give me a investigation.
Uh, 17.
And I join him and look for anything that might be fortifying or anti-poison that might be on the common side.
Go ahead and give me a investigation yourself, Ully.
Balls again. I apparently cannot see squat. That was a 5.
Yeah, I would say that Bazil. Most of the common stuff that you see, you know in the back of your mind, you already have it in stock.
Okay.
And you can't seem to find anything more on the rare exotic, either for food or for experimentation.
So
And-
nothing worthwhile.
No, it's I got better stuff in my. You currently have better things stocked right now.
Got it.
As for Ully, you. It's about the same. Most of what you're kind of looking for is something very specific. And at least out here in the front, they don't seem to have what you're looking for.
enough.
Okay. Okay. And then just rolling checks to see what actually is in stock. That one's going to be while you are looking around, in fact, Ully, your passive picks something up. Go ahead and please give me a D4 roll, please.
Or
As you are waiting for your gnome shopkeeper to come back, out of the corner of your eye, that familiar face from yesterday that you thought you saw kind of passes in front again, this time in the window. It's only there for about maybe 4 seconds, enough to confirm, wait, that's actually who I saw, before the face is gone. You see a human come by, bit more regal looking, higher cheekbones, carries themselves with an air of importance. They seem to be clothed in blues with red trim. And then they pass past the window.
can I recognize this individual?
I would say, Ully, this... that was Jomune.
Let out a frustrated sigh. And I will turn to Basil and be like, "Our Basil, do you have this?"
Yeah, I got this.
All right. And I
So,
will
together.
rush to the door and see if I can catch up with him.
Okay. I need you to give me... I'm going to say perception at disadvantage, because there's a crowd, and you're trying to spot a figure in the crowd.
That's a 14.
You see them about 40 yards ahead, just walking with the crowds, going about the direction of the city gates. As far as you're aware.
I will fill my lungs and my chest, and I will bellow, "John!" And he knows that bellow.
You see the crowd about 50 yards out, all kind of like turn around. The first 10 yards in front of you actually grab their ears and kind of like... ah. So you see Jomune kind of twitch, and then turns around. You see a grimace. He straightens his tunic.
I will walk up to him in my fiercest, disappointed dad stalking walk. And I will just come at him, and I'll let things slip a little bit so that my size will seem to increase just a tad, and I will glare at him and
Go ahead and roll an intimidation.
Oh, that'll go well.
Well, you are puffing yourself up to kind of grab a whole, like,
That's an 18.
He tries his best to not show that he shrinks in just a little bit. But you can tell, like the neck just kind of sinking in while trying to keep the back straight in a stoic demeanor.
I thought you might have at least the modicum of sense to not be one that came to this expedition. But no, you of course again lower the bar beyond what I thought.
Who was it that taught me that the gifts that we have are to be shared? Is it my fault I was trained to such a level that on a kingdom spanning endeavor, the best of the best are called for? Says the kettle to the pot.
I don't know who taught you that, because it sure wasn't me. I taught you a lot of things that you seem to have not listened to, and learned quite a few things that I definitely did not teach you. What poor sap did you convince to sponsor yourself into this expedition?
How smart is he right now? Okay, he's rather smart. Oh, I could say the same. But considering one of us is wearing his actual face, I at least have the courtesy to not hide.
You know why. You know that this isn't a choice.
As you should know with me. Who was it that said
Ethics.
I was one of the best trained, that I had a gift, that I was to
Yes,
use
you had
this?
a gift, and you threw it away. You threw it away for money.
How are we supposed to apply our trade? We're cartographers, we're map makers, we explore. Do you think we do this out of the goodness of our heart? That doesn't put food on the table. It doesn't keep clothes on your back. It doesn't keep protection from the things that are out there.
Did I teach you nothing? We don't create maps for money. We don't explore for thrills. We don't explore for renown. We find truth, and we present truth. We don't lie. We do not hide. We do not make things convenient based upon what others want. We do not let others influence our work. Are you going to go into this wild and fabricate whatever it is that your employer wishes you to report back? Why go at all? Why not just stay in a hotel room and draw whatever it is you wish to draw? Why come at all? Why risk your life if you are not going to even be honest and show even a modicum of morality?
Oh, that is rich coming from you. But I am striving to be better, and I have been striving to not let this conversation digress more than it already has. Master, I am not the one who yelled at you in the street. I am not the one making a scene. I am trying to do my job.
Well, I hope that you choose to do it better. I hope things have changed. But do not get in my way.
Master, you have taught me many things. I do know better than to cross you. But you also need to learn to make way for the next generation. The top is so very thin.
I will be around long after your bones have dried and flown away. Do not talk to me about the next generation. You have no idea what you speak of.
You see the slightest smirk. So one would think. Before he flops his heels, stands up, bows. I bid you leave. A good day, master. And he will turn and he will rejoin the crowd if you let him.
I will just stare daggers at the back of his head.
Meanwhile,
you should have
the
found
seal?
a dagger at the back of his head.
Your gnome shopkeeper comes back. Okay. I seem to have found most of what you were looking for. Let's see. Here's the glass vials that he asked for. Is the kit.
As she passes me the items, I'm going to inspect them for quality.
Okay.
There's a dirty 20 on investigation. Sorry.
It's the glass vials are frosted glass, low quality. They do the job, but
And for the rest,
well, if any of these sites would actually have prices attached to the items as I look them up instead of having to just see the stats for them and not the base price for them. You see one frosted vial with some liquid in it placed down next to it. And then one clear glass, small, with a red liquid inside of it, placed next to that. As for you,
you said
notice-
a red vial and what was the other color?
so one was a frosted glass vial with some liquid in it, but it's frosted so bad you can't tell what the liquid color is. And the other one is a clear glass vial with a red liquid inside.
I will hold up the frosted glass to her and be like, and what is this one?
Yes, for an antioxidant.
Okay. And what's the price for all these?
Is it, 80 gold.
How much?
80.
80. For this quality.
It's not my fault, but I have is what I have.
I'll give you 45.
Persuasion.
That is a 23. Deal.
So that is Ully's pile. She then, well, unfortunately for you, as she says this, he's the one. The armed guard saddles up. The lady Tyr tells me you're the one asking for poisons. Is that correct?
I did.
Well, unfortunately, we're not selling any poisons at the moment. You don't know what kind of folk might be trying to do nefarious business. Kind of leans in. Muscular jaw, heavy set features, like toned features. What kind of upstanding citizen asks for poison?
One who wishes to take precautions out in the wilderness. After all, this expedition is exploring uncharted territory. Right?
Persuasion.
Mm, 19?
Run. Kind of leans back. I got my eye on you. Okay, lady, you're good to sell the goods to this fellow. And he goes back to his post. He brings up one vial and one vial. Each one's about this big. One has a forest green, and the other one has more of a indigo, dark blue.
Am I able to distinguish which one is the lethal versus which one is non-lethal?
Test it on your
Bright
finger.
and vibrant, extra deadly. Hidden in shadow, sorta deadly.
So indigo is sort of deadly.
Yes.
Okay.
75.
I inspect the quality.
Non-negotiable.
I'll still inspect the quality just to...
So while this is happening,
19.
19. It's adequate quality, more towards lightly above average. It's still an apothecary in the lower part of the city. You're more confident about it, or the fact that they actually had a guard confront you and they weren't just selling this. So you think, okay, this is actually relatively decent stuff.
This is acceptable.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
very
will-
much.
So that'll be 75 gold for those two. I will have to get you those vials later. So, hi Dennis, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
So, just to briefly catch you up, you were in line for Hector's. A distinguished-looking kobold spoke with Ully. You were none too happy and completely ignored the individual. You're inside Hector's now. Ully placed an order, turned around, did a double take on the window, said Bazil, "Here, hold my purse," and then just ran outside. And about 2 seconds later, you hear a bellowing yell. He hasn't returned yet, and Bazil has just completed his business with this short little gnomish lady at the counter.
And Draxor run out to see.
Drakthor was a bit too looking around to see if there was any gear.
It wasn't a yell of pain. It was
Oh,
just a
okay.
yell.
Yeah, kind of more of like a, oh my.
So it wouldn't have been something that was alarming.
No.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
No
That's
worries.
good to know.
So,
DM, was there a herbalism kit with the vials?
yes. So you get one. So you have one herbalism kit, 4 glass vials, 1 vial of anti-poison, and 1 regular healer. That's all I had was 1. Kyle, I'll get the exact specifics for you. You have 1 vial of deadly poison and 1 vial of sort of deadly poison.
1 vial of make you sick poison.
Almost dead.
And 1 vial of final sick potion.
Yes. Wish you were dead and
Oh.
definitely dead.
Final
Yeah.
sick poison. Okay.
Did he get the chocolate ball too?
Nah. That one's still available if you want.
I'll hand Ully back his
Ully's
What's
not
the-
back yet. I'd
Oh.
say at this point, Ully, you will have had your conversation, made your way back into the store right about this point.
My head will be down and I'll be distracted as I kind of stalk in.
Hey,
apologize
why the
for-
wrong face?
I apologize for rushing out. I saw a former colleague of mine I had to have words with.
Oh,
I
Happy reunion?
appreciate you getting all this stuff. I hope it didn't cost too much.
no. I mean, they were asking for too much with the quality of this stuff, but I got you a deal.
I
Here's what's
appreciate
left
that.
of your
That was
gold.
great. Thank you. Now, how much
Hey, by the
gold
way,
is
I
that?
think you have a pretty cool voice there, Mr. Dwarf.
Why? Thank you very much, good sir.
How much was that? Well, how much gold did you take out?
It costs 50.
All right, I appreciate that. That's actually quite the deal, especially with the current supply demand. So thank you.
Right.
I appreciate that, Bazil.
And I just rolled 1d4 psychic damage against myself.
As
I am a man of my word.
So DM.
as you should.
So Draxor is walking around. You said he's looking around.
Yes.
Does he see medicine kit?
You see that Ully, as part of the stuff that he was getting, was a herbalism kit. So you
Okay.
think that, must be behind counter.
Okay. So then, Traxor is going to go to the counter and ask for a need medicine kit.
Little gnome woman looks up.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're tall. Oh, one moment.
You scamper off.
Oh, you're in luck, honey. I have the last one right here.
Draxor kind of takes it, looking down at her. You're small. and then says, how much?
That one would be about 20.
He looks at it, looks at her. 10.
Persuasion.
It's not going to go good. How about a nat 20 plus 1?
First on camera nat 20 from a player. Let's roll severity.
My first roll of the night. Wow.
Nice.
And you got a real high severity, too.
Or she just gave it to you for free.
10.
He hands her 10. He's happy with that. That's a good price in his mind. He thinks. He's not sure. He just thinks it is.
Would there be anything else for you?
I'm trying to think. No. He walks away and shows the medicine kit to Ully. 10.
That's a good deal.
He puts it in his backpack.
While this is happening, Minerva Cinnamon. Combined, I need you two to give me acrobatics checks
Oh, jeez.
Goody.
as you are making your way towards Hector's from Giovanni's.
I made a 19.
A 9.
I'm leading anyway. I'm just partying the crowd for you.
You keep trying to part the crowd for her, but you keep having to double back. Because almost as soon as you part it, it swallows her up. So you almost have to double part it just to get her to stay right by your side as you're trying to make your way through.
Can I look down at her and say, we're wasting time. Would you like to hitch a ride?
I might be a little heavy for you. Basile's cooking is good. But
I
if
think
you
I
would
can manage. You realize at this moment that under the cloak, the long flowing cloak, I too am wearing plate armor. But I've been moving quieter than anybody in plate armor you've ever seen. So I will kneel down and let you get like a hopping mount. And what do
She
I roll,
will
DM?
attempt.
Okay. I would say just for this, Cinnamon, give me a acrobatics again, and Minerva, give me a athletics.
5.
7. Fall over on the street.
You're like, trust me.
I did better than you said. I'm just saying.
United?
You misjudge the weights. Like, Oh, trust me, you're moving quiet, but there's still a thing of lifting someone in plate with a more condensed center of gravity.
Yeah, I forget
Compared
that
to
she's
you-
short.
So you misjudge, and instead of lifting her up and putting her on your back, you kind of lift her up and throw your own center of, it's not net one, but still enough that you kind of tumble, but you didn't just huck her into the crowd.
Right. I almost German suplex her. I'm like, whoops, I'm so sorry.
Well,
Look, she sprinkled cinnamon all over the crowd.
I know.
maybe I just shouldn't do that ever again. Recalling trying to jump on Bazil's shoulders and completely failing as well.
You're
So-
0 for
That's
2.
Third time's the
Okay.
charm. That's how that works. I'm sure of it. It'll come in clutch
I
at
sure
the
hope
right
so.
moment. Then in that case, I'm just gonna like hook her armor into the front of my armor like baby Bjorn, and we're just gonna wade through this crowd.
All right,
Oh,
Cinnamon,
goodness.
do you fight this, or do you let it happen?
At this point, she wants to make sure Bazil's okay, so I guess she'll just reluctantly agree so we can get there faster.
Okay.
Fine.
Minerva,
No one has to know.
give me one more athletics.
No.
Did you get the center of gravity right this time?
11. Barely.
I would say graciously, barely is kind.
Barely's being really nice.
Instead of having to like hook and just use your arms, it's more of you're now carrying her no problem. But it's more holding a baby like this and just kind of using Cinnamon as a blocking device and kind of using her to push the crowd through.
As a ram, just like to get through the crowd.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not pretty. And I'm just going to say, I just cut back to see if, hey, maybe the two of you will make a good time and get to Hector's while the rest of your party is still there. No. It's going to take you an hour doing this to get to where you are now.
Sounds about
Well,
right.
we tried.
So 30 minutes into that hour is where we presently are with the group right now, with Draxthor just completing his business.
Okay.
You're muted.
Kyle,
Kyle.
you're muted.
Sorry. Well,
There
I
he
guess we should go find our other companions, shall we?
I forget, did we discuss meeting at a certain point, or were we going to meet them here? I don't remember. Or were
We
we going to
never
head
did.
towards the gate?
That is an excellent question.
But we all have to be at the gate at the end of the day anyway, so.
I'm totally fine heading to the gate. We had discussed meeting out that way after we had shopped. I do remember that, so
Okay.
we can
Yeah,
head
yeah, yeah.
towards the gate.
This
If
is why
only
we
we
need
had-
the episodes.
If
Well,
only
then,
we had
yeah.
stone phones.
If only.
You can't afford stone phones.
Well,
We were
I
promised in
I
this.
hope.
We were promised in this next campaign they'd come with crystal screens.
Oh, perfect.
Right. It wasn't stone phones that
locations, yeah.
had surprisingly good reception and unlimited minutes, even though the data plan clearly stated it was only.
We jailbroke our stone phones is what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, we
Right.
did.
Drackthor. What
Yeah.
was what was going on there with Cobalt? The Cobalt. You seemed perturbed.
Cobalt.
Is there something? Oh, is that
Stupid. Just kind
for
of
that one specifically, or just in general?
all.
That one specifically, or just in general?
All.
Well, remind me to have a conversation with you about racism, but
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
we'll have that conversation later.
They know race. They
Is
slow.
there a specific reason, particularly bad dealings you've had in the past, or is it just a feeling by your kind towards their kind?
Because they're kobold.
A man of very descriptive words, got it. Well, Drakthor. Yes, well, we definitely need to have some conversations. I'd love to hear your experiences.
Kobold bad. Kobold mean. He walks away.
You know, gentlemen, the mood seems awfully down. Why don't we uplift our spirits with a song while we march to the gate? Come on.
Oh, jeez.
I'll start, and y'all just join in with me. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to the gate we go.
I'm done. I'm over it. I'm out.
Performance
Goodbye.
at this.
Ully will join in with his full bellow.
Oh, no.
Bazil,
Hi.
performance.
Hi-ho.
Hi ho, hi ho, hi
I'm
ho.
pretty sure Draxler just took 4 psych damage.
I don't know. Basil might take some in a second.
Jack was pretending to
18.
not be in your group.
An 18. He is singing loud and singing proud.
I'm singing loud and enthusiastically.
Draxler
Okay.
is now wondering why he thinks kobolds are stupid.
Ully, I need you to give me a performance.
Oh, yeah, that was a 9.
Okay, so Drakthor,
Yes.
I'll use you as the impartial third party to describe this. On your left, you have Bazil the dwarf, singing very loudly. The dwarf has got a pair of lungs on him. His voice is actually better than not bad. It's actually pretty good. To your right, you have Ully, this hulking mass of a man who is singing along with Bazil, but it is quite clear that Bazil seems to be a man of many talents, and for Ully, singing is not one of them. So your only saving grace in your mind is, instead of 2 horrible singers, I have one really good and one really bad. And it kind of equals itself out. So it just kind of almost negates it all together. So you're not hating every second, but it almost they zero each other out. It's your one glimmer of,
Yeah. Draxor is probably kind of a couple steps ahead, trying to figure out how he can get Ully to stop. Wondering if he starts talking about the kobolds again, if that would do it. So he turns around as he's kind of walking backwards, and says to Ully, "Talk about kobold."
Well, I'll stop him. But I do want to keep an eye out. I do want to look around as we're walking towards the gate. I just want to see if I see the moon again, or if I see anybody else I recognize.
go ahead and give me a perception, please.
All right, that's a 19.
One second. You don't see Yamoon. For a you catch another glimpse. And a slow, either happy or lamenting realization kind of hits you. There was the briefest hint of recollection on another face in the crowd. It was not Yamoon. If one of my apprentices were here, there is a chance there are probably a couple others that may or may not, depending upon where they are, also might have been brought on to this. Just because you are that good of a teacher and you regret what happened with Yamoon. He's the one failure that you consider. So him being here has already put you off. So now you're lamenting the fact there may be more of your potential other students in this mess. But you cannot say for certain who you saw. But it was enough of a familiarization that you think, oh boy, I don't know how to feel the fact that there might just be a whole bunch of my pupils part of this now.
I think that I worry for their safety. I've always been rather protective of them. But at the same time, for most of them, I am excited for them in a way. I'm trepidatious for them, but excited for them at the same time. If they are out here, that means that they have reached a point in their own careers where they are being tasked with going out into the unknown of our world and charting their own way and being trusted with such an important task. So I am thrilled for that part of it, but I worry about them as well. I know what dangers are in there from my own experience, and I don't want to lose any more apprentices to the unnatural, to anything but time itself. And even that is bitter.
Anything else as the three of you make your way towards the gate?
So at this point, Draxthor, knowing that we're getting ready to head out of the gate, is kind of switching over into his ranger scouting mode, watching things, looking for any signs of, well, being followed. Every once in a while he'll glance around just because he doesn't know what to expect. But he also he's going to be looking for anything that could help them. Any signs that, like the weather. He's going to look at the weather to see if he can predict maybe what they're heading into. He's going to look at as far past as he can see to see if there's anything dangerous looking past the gate, if it's possible to see past the gate. I'm just thinking that if they're coming down to the gate, that maybe it's possible to see over the gate a little bit.
Okay. All right. Draxthor, go ahead and give me an investigation.
Yeah, just an 8.
Okay. It's a little early to tell. You've been inside stone buildings the last couple days, so it's hard to get a sense of what happened before to kind of build off where you might be going. But as far as you think you're aware, should be a clear night. Clear night should mean hopefully a clear day tomorrow, but you can't say that with certainty. It's a little... You feel a little out of your elements. And go ahead, actually, and give me a... As you're walking backwards this entire time, going back towards the gate, go ahead and give me a... First, a wisdom check, and then after that, go ahead and give me a acrobatics.
Okay, so the wisdom check, that would just be clicking on wisdom, right?
Correct. This is to remember coming in.
That's an 8.
Okay? Acrobatics.
And acrobatics.
As they seem to be following you.
That's a 10. Guess my 20
So, the three of you going with the crowd, only to discover right about 20 minutes later, right about when you felt we should have gotten close to the gate by now. But you're not by the gate yet. You're just following the crowds.
Do we recognize any landmarks?
I'd say Ully does. Only because he's been to the city a couple times before. The gate's that way. About another 15 minutes that way. You're off by about 20 minutes. Drakthor got you lost.
Because he was walking backwards. Trying to get Ully to stop singing.
And the two of you were just following. Like, Bazil's just like singing la-di-da-di-da.
My friend, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you meant to lead us that way.
Drakthor's gonna look around, realize that this is not where he's supposed to be. And he will thank Ully. And start going that way. He realizes that he just made a mistake. So he just thanks Ully and starts walking the other way.
And Ully will walk behind him. His goal was to, as subtly as possible, redirect Drakthor in a way that was not embarrassing or was not pointing out his mistake, but just subtly, hey, I think you meant to go that way, type of thing. And then and now he's just following Drakthor, like he trusts Drakthor's judgment completely.
And as he tries to redirect his now lost trio, the ladies, awkwardly, Cinnamon, the crowd parts, and you see a shop called Hector's Herbs.
Can I gauge the time of day it is? Because we've taken so long to get here.
By this point, it is coming up about 4, 5 in the evening, so the sun is starting to get a little low, but it's still summer. So
we're due outside the gate of the city at sundown. Yes.
By sundown. They said about 7 o'clock is roughly about when that is due to happen.
Okay. I unhook Cinnamon and place her gently on the ground. I'm sweating just a little bit because carrying, a dense, small thing on my front is not easy. She's thick. And I look down at her and I say, "Do you need anything from Hector's?"
No.
I doubt
And
they'll
I
have
would
healing.
doubt.
I know they aren't going to have healing potions this late in the game.
Well, and I'd venture to say that our companions are probably not in there anymore. Considering how
no.
late it is.
No, I expect to catch up with them outside the gate. That you
What
might
about you?
actually have to. That you might actually have to climb on my head for. I doubt they'll have anything in there. I cannot think of something that I need that they would possibly still have.
I agree.
Okay. We will move
Make your
on.
way for the gate. Very
Mhm.
well. Walking as normal together again? Or are you going to attempt to pick her up again?
What do you think? Third time's the charm. All we can do is fail.
You look a little tired.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
She'll just walk.
We'll just walk.
All right, so two of you give me acrobatics checks.
Oh, jeez, here we go again.
Again, crowd surfing.
14. Oh
3.
my gosh.
It was almost a nat 20, and then it rolled to the 3.
Don't you hate that so much?
So, second verse, same as the first. Minerva had to keep going back because Cinnamon kept getting swept away. Like the crowds, for some reason, are getting thicker and going in different directions. So Cinnamon and Minerva kept getting separated.
Once I catch back up to her on one of these attempts, I'm gonna look down at her and say, I don't know about you, but at this point I would welcome whatever dangers the Flokar Wilds if it would just get me out of this bloody crowd.
Oh, you can say that again. Would we be close enough for me to be able to hear Basile singing and Ully trying?
Bellowing.
Let me see. Because at this point, they're just figured out they were lost and are trying to go back to the city. Basile, did you stop singing as you're writing your way back, or are you just singing the whole time?
He would be singing the whole time, keeping perception alive for Minerva and Cinnamon, more or less.
Then, Basile, go ahead and give me let's do a Constitution check. How are those lungs?
How are them vocal cords? Are they nice and lubricated?
Oh, those vocal cords are strong with an 18. Oh, 19 total.
19 total altogether?
19 total. Yep. Sorry, I forgot I have a +1 in con.
All right, Cinnamon, I need you to please give me at disadvantage, a perception as you try to pick out Basile's voice out of a mass of crowds.
Well, that was a nat 20. And that was a 2. Yay! A 2.
He could be 5 feet ahead of you singing at the top of his lungs, and you wouldn't be able to pick out his voice.
That's so sad.
Sorry. It was a good thought. And we tried, but there's too many
I had
people.
a nat 20.
Yeah, you did, but it was in a crowd trying to listen across a quarter of a city. So,
You
that's a
thought you heard it for a
disadvantage.
second, and then it just vanished.
Yeah.
I know, I just wasted a nat 20. It's fine.
Hey, it could be a game of Marco Polo.
True.
How do you think I felt talking
All
a
right.
gnome down 10 gold pieces?
So, we are going to shift gears, and I'm going to say, based upon where we presently are, the tragic trio, or the Tremble trio, sorry. The Tremble trio is going to take about 20 minutes to get to the gate, and our Domnatic Dudo is going to be about 20 minutes after that.
Just call us Dummy Thick. That's our street name.
We
I'm
be
the
dumb thick.
I'm dumb. She's thick.
No.
But for no, Bazil will quit singing once we hit the gate.
Very well. Brent. It took you about 30 minutes after your payment came through, and you started walking straight to the gate. No shopping to be done. The crowd starts to pick up a little bit, and then there's a abrupt drop off as a group of people are heading to the left and to the right as you exit the main part of the city gate and behold an enormous camp at the base of the hill that the capital city of Cornell is built upon. Tents far as the eye can see. Base camp. There's still some groups milling about right by the gate. Guards, obviously. But it seems like there's now kind of a steady stream of traffic that's going down and splintering into the various camps and tents set up at the base of the Capitol. What is your course?
So I'll turn as I walk through the gate just to make sure that none of the people that are in my group have made it to the gate and just decided not to come through yet.
First, your glance, about 2 minutes, nothing.
Okay. I will just kind of casually start walking through the rows of Kents. I have my glasses on and I'm flipping through my cards just very nonchalantly.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're making your way through.
Okay. That would be a 16.
A 16. You weave your way through a couple streets of these tents, kind of shuffling through your cards, looking down every once in a while. As of now, no one seems familiar. You don't seem to spot the ones that you know of,
Mm-hmm.
but neither do you see any of the other ones. At least as of now.
Yeah, that makes sense. After a few minutes, I'll stop and I'll take a look around and see if I can figure out. I'm assuming that, given the size, that possibly the Inquisitors might have their own small little camp set up.
I would need you. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's going to be a whopping 9.
9. You look around and I'd say after about 15 minutes, Trio, you're about 3 out from the gate by this point. You're still in the selected group area.
Okay.
You, looking back around, you make way back to the main thoroughfare to try and regain your bearings. And I would say, just based on your history, there seems to be bit further down, the bigger tents, the nicer tents. You think that the peons have their tents, the groups have their tents first and foremost, and then further in is where the cultural ambassadors, the hired muscle, the researchers, the better do well would be.
Okay. I'll make note of that. And I'll just make kind of a few more laps around, just kind of getting a feel for everybody. Not really making eye contact with anyone, but not being so suspicious as to, I don't know, to kind of give off that vibe, like, okay, what's this guy up to?
I'd say by this point, I need my trio. Go ahead and give me perception checks as you have made your way to the gates, and the crowd is starting to disperse into the camp that I just described before you.
I got a 14.
Okie
30-20.
18.
Alrighty. So, Drakthor, you start to feel a little better. You don't recognize anybody, but tense. Yes, now you're starting to speak my language a little bit. There's a lot of tense, but tense. Ully and Bazil, you see the tense, and Bram, did you wish to be still relatively incognito in terms of being found, or are you making no effort to be hidden if someone was to be looking for you or recognize you?
Oh yeah, no, like if as the group comes through the gate, if they spot me within kind of the tent section, like that's completely fine. Again, I'm not trying to stand out, but I'm also not trying to blend in.
Gotcha. So yeah, the two of you see Bram kind of coming after one thoroughfare, just kind of shuffling a deck of cards, looking around with his glasses. Doesn't seem to notice you two, but yeah, that's Bram. Drakthor does not seem to notice at this point.
Drakthor honestly wouldn't care if it was Bram or not.
Point taken. Duo, you're about 10 out.
Bazil's gonna holler for him. Hey, Bram!
Yeah, based on Lepisode, he might actually like Bram a little bit because he was impressed by his cooking.
That's fair, yeah.
But I'm also short.
He's
so
yeah.
Bram
So
be wavy.
I'm gonna make a. No, I don't see you.
Ooh, that's a nat 1. Yep. You're just... And you see him go down another thoroughfare of tents off to the left and kind of leaves your immediate perception, gentlemen.
Should we go after him?
No.
If you wish to, you can. I'll stay here and wait for the armored ones.
Sounds good. I'll be right back. And I charge off after Bram.
Wow,
Oh.
apparently Cinnamon's just chopped liver, but okay.
Well,
That's not
That's
true.
like
Trying to get the party
bodyguard,
together.
right? He's the spoiled princeling, and you're the bodyguard. So that's
Yes,
what this is.
yes.
He's
That's
just
true.
Well, also remember, I'm the friendly one. So I'm meeting
It's a
new
bromance.
people. So this is exciting.
It's a whole
Trying
new
to get-
romance.
hey,
Party
at
together.
least
Romance.
somebody in this damn group likes me.
You complimented
Oh,
his
it's
cooking.
okay. It takes a while to get to like the arrogant ones.
Well,
Hey, like I
Well-
said, we noblemen gotta stick together.
well, if it's any consolation, Draxor doesn't dislike you, nor does he like you.
Just super indifferent.
Very.
Bazil, go ahead and give me
He
a.
doesn't not like you. He just sees you as an annoying child.
It's fair.
Give me an additional perception as you go to where you think you last saw him.
22.
22. Yeah, within about 2 minutes, you spot Bram with his. I already forgot the name of the hat, but him and his hat, and you kind of dash over.
And I holler for him again. Hey, Bram! Where are you going, man?
Am I rolling anything for this one?
You
You
know
can't get away
what?
from this one.
It was a nat 1. Go ahead and give me another perception. You are so engrossed in what you were
Oh
doing.
my god. Another nat 1.
Yeah.
Let's see. My nat 1 I think is on. Is it that side? I'll just die.
Yeah, it's you don't notice as he comes running up to you. Bazil, you've been kind of dancing around him almost. You've done everything except stop in front of him and have him literally walk into you. He hasn't noticed you. He's just but he's not bumping into anything. He's just kind of weaving, looking at his cards, just every so often. His vision just seems to be at this angle, completely missing anything underneath
Hello?
90 degrees.
Trip him.
Hello!
I put those dice in timeout.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
I would
good
say-
idea.
With those nat ones, Bram, short of a physical interjection, you do not know he's there.
I mean, if this keeps up for say a solid 30 feet, I'm just gonna barrel roll into his legs to get his attention.
Now,
wanna
are you
get shot. He's
Are
trying
you
to get shot.
barrel now? Okay, I would say, Kyle. Bazil, the character, would know that Bram pulled a gun and shot 6 tankers with expert precision off the hooks when
You're right.
Literally above his head.
literally above your head over coffee. I mean, it sounded funny, but your back was kind of turned. You get the whole thing.
Okay.
So I would say, Kyle, the player, your character, would know this. And now that God has closed the curtains once more,
Okay.
are
in
you
that
sure
case-
you want to do that?
In that case, what I'm gonna do, from behind, where is it? So I'm following Bram. He's, at this point, I think he's ignoring me. So I might be getting a little, well, not irritated per se, but I'm like, I don't like being ignored. So I'm going to cast Create Water behind, right above his head, and just drench him.
I love Vigil.
Oh boy. Do
And you're
not
doing
kill.
that after not watching. You did not watch last episode. That's hilarious.
I haven't had a chance to watch the last episode.
I
told
already
you
gave
what-
you. Are you sure you want to do that? Which means
DM,
Bazil,
can I
you most certainly can try.
Can I give him the benefit of the doubt and tell him what happened last episode? Why this is so funny?
Do you really not remember what I told you, Kyle?
What? Am I
Guess
missing
not.
something?
So after Ully accidentally spilled coffee on Bram, Drakthor was like, "Oh, Bram, hot. Need water. Spill water on pants. Look like pee pants." Shoots the mugs.
You're gonna drench him.
You already said it. I want to see this happen.
Okay, let's see it happen though.
Well, doesn't matter if he wants to take it back
He's-
now.
If
He
he's
has
so
spoken.
oblivious, if he's so oblivious that he can't see me after I'm literally dancing around him, chances are he ain't going to hit me with a gun.
So, what spell did you say that you did?
Oh, honey.
Create water.
Create water.
Yes.
So you're going to use the first level spell.
Yeah, none of my cantrips are going to get his attention.
Okay.
And if you're at all curious about
You
that,
actually cannot in the air. Open container. Rain in a
container.
no, you'd have to see. It'd have to be off his head.
What
The
about
other
his
thing
shoes?
would be rain in a 30-foot cube.
Yeah.
So it would not be water, it would just be a torrential rain in a 30-foot cube.
okay. I see that now. My bad. So, yes.
Well, it's happening
Oh.
regardless. So, just because of this,
Well, I guess Cinnamon is
Bazil?
dying.
I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
19 on the die.
What's
Man,
your
my
other
plus
character?
So, Bram,
Yes.
What's your reroll character, Kyle?
your
I don't have one.
your brim hat goes out about, I'd say, the style of hat goes out a couple inches.
Okay.
So, it doesn't land on your cards. They, I imagine, would be a little more durable, some water resistance. But you suddenly feel like a cloudburst pass over you as sun 3 seconds of a torrential downpour rain just kind of pass over you and then vanish
Okay.
as a wall of rain hits you out of nowhere.
Okay.
You probably don't look like you peed your pants anymore.
No,
All right.
it looks like he got caught in a downpour.
So
However,
it's
I would say
so it's immediately through me. So it's not like still raining over my head right now.
nope. It's 3 seconds pass over and then it's just gone. And I will say,
So
because you had 2 nat ones and I rolled low, you don't look back. You're just confused.
okay.
This nat one is coming to save a certain somebody.
Okay.
So you're just confused at the moment.
And wet.
So I'll stop just kind of dead in my tracks at that point. And I will, of course, I'm naturally going to look around.
And
I
at
rolled
that
I
point-
rolled a 15. Do you want me to just make another perception check at disadvantage?
No, I think at this point, the one was not immediately just spin around. It's more of a, instead of feeling like, did I just get pranked? It's more of a, what was that? So you turn around and then, well, there's Bazil. It's kind of looking at you.
Hello.
Small man.
Would you care to join the rest of the party? Or would you like to continue walking around aimlessly?
I was enjoying my stroll, but sure, I'll come with you. I've got to tell you this story, though. The strangest thing just happened.
Oh, really? Do tell.
You are lucky, and you are welcome.
I was flipping through my cards, minding my own business, and it just like out of nowhere, it rained for no more than like 2 to 3 seconds, and then it's gone. Strangest thing.
You said rain? On this sunshining day?
I'm gonna point out that like there's still water just
Yep.
dry.
Yep.
It's like it's pulled on the top and it's like slowly like just kind of water falling down, and at this point it's just trickles.
Actually, you know what? Never mind. Forget what I was going to say.
That might be a thank God.
Probably.
No, it was going to be well, he probably had better made material, so maybe the rain kind of, some of it flecked off because it was slightly water resistant. No, he's soaked.
Right.
Your top of your shoulders, there's a circle
From
of
my
dry
hat.
clothing
Nice.
from your hat.
I love it. Alright, so yeah, so at that point we just, we take probably the 5-minute walk, maybe 6-7 minutes because short legs, but we make it back.
Yes. Never say I didn't do anything for you people.
So,
By this point, as Draxthor Ully awkwardly either having a conversation while Bazil just ran off.
We're talking about kobolds.
yeah. And
Why he hates them. Or why are they all bad? Why are they mean? What did they do to you? Make you have
Show
such
me
a
on this
negative-
doll where they hurt you.
I was just thinking that exact same thing.
Do we all have one brain now or something? Because
We
played together long
together
enough.
too long. So
I have
as
gotta
two troublemakers come up from the tents,
wait.
clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, a very exhausted Minerva and an equally pissed off, exhausted Cinnamon arrive at the gate at that exact moment.
And so let me understand. Bram is still soaking wet when Draxthor first.
Yes. So you both see Bram soaking wet come out of the tents with Zeal, with him being the only one with water on him.
And Draxthor looks at him and kind of cocks his head and goes, "More burn?"
No burn. Strangest thing, and I'll repeat the story to him without telling it again.
And you hear this strange sound as you realize Draxthor is actually chuckling.
I'm not even going to have the ladies roll perception. I'm afraid at this point if I had
We'll never find
roll,
out.
Say-
roll perception for what?
To see
If,
if you
if
see us.
Cinnamon's paying attention to the story, she probably knows what happened.
No, I'm not doubting that. It's more of the, do I want the dice to potentially throw Cinnamon under the bus again?
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Throw us a bone and let us reunite the party. Come on.
That's what I'm doing. It's like, no, we're just going to have Cinnamon, Minerva. You see Ully, and you see Draxthor kind of talking, looking, and you see just a bit, about 15 feet away, coming towards them, Bazil and a soaking wet Bram.
So, as frustrated as Cinnamon was with that whole endeavor, her face is going to lighten up a little bit and smile a bit, and she's gonna go toward Bazil to show him all of the fun things that she got for her family heirloom. And as she's talking, she's going to look over and she's going to see Bram soaking wet. What happened to you?
I will again tell, because at this point I'm absolutely amazed by this. Hence I'm still rolling with this freaking nat 1.
Can I roll to see if I assume or kind of like have a feeling that it was Bazil that did this?
Anyone who would wish to, I would say, roll insight, please.
I have a question for Bram. Well, for Brandon, real quick.
Yeah.
Does every time Bram tell the story, does it get embellished ever so
Oh,
slightly?
absolutely. So
Okay.
when I told you, it rained for like a minute straight. It was just like this squall. When I tell her, by the time I get to her and tell her about it, it was like 5 minutes of a torrential downpour that I had to like punch an octopus in or something.
I rolled an 18, by the way. Do I just look at Bazil kind of weird and I'm like, okay.
It's you look at Drakthor, then you look at Bazil.
Bazil winks.
You squint only because seriously. Well, you don't say anything. You just kind of smirk.
Yeah.
Because it's funny to hear him say it, but you give Bazil a look of, dude, seriously? After
Yeah,
what happened
pretty
this
much.
morning? Really?
And I'm gonna
That's like
make
roll.
the assumption and go ahead and assume that with a 10 insight, I would not catch.
Yep. Not at all. Actually, no. Bazil, deception.
Uh-oh.
Should I roll anything?
No.
20.
No.
What are with your dice today?
Just that one.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to say no, Bram. You don't catch
Yeah,
it.
fair enough.
Cinnamon,
It's
you
like
don't have
we
to roll.
our own little secret language or something.
Give us a couple months.
Well, now.
You don't have to worry about rolling a new character by next week, so you're good.
Yeah.
Since the party's all
So-
together, what do y'all say we make camp and I can make my famous...
So, DM, what time of the day is it now?
By
As
this
we-
point, it's about 6:15.
so
So
we would
about
have
30
maybe-
to 45 minutes before the deadline given. Yeah.
Okay, and we've still got a little bit of daylight left. Maybe
Yeah, and we,
half hour,
I
45 minutes.
think we need to wait for Green Strider, do we not? He's supposed to go with us, or did I misunderstand?
No, he told you to be at the gate before sundown.
I agree with your thinking, Drakthar. I do want to get a little bit down the road. I do not want to camp with the rest of the people, but I do believe we need to wait for Green Strider.
So Draxor agrees, and he says that then I find camp, and he starts looking around the area for a really nice area for everybody to set up.
Drakthar,
Right there, near there.
Drakthar, can you find somewhere that might have a little bit of cover for me?
So that's what he's looking for. He's looking for a place that might have a nice tree that's overgrown. Something with high enough branches that they can still stand underneath, but isn't too bad.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
$22.
Within 5 minutes, you find the perfect spot. Just There's a nice tent there already set up. It looks like it's made of really good material. It just sucks that it's currently occupied by what looks like a skinny human
So,
in
Right.
blue clothing and red trim, who is giving Drakthor this impetuous, pertinent look of,
would Draxor recognize?
no.
Would Draxor recognize anything about this person that would make him think?
Nope.
Then he is going to ask him if we can either join him there or if he will move.
Which is it? Which are you asking? Can we join you or move? Drakthor must choose.
Draxor is going to start with, because Draxor doesn't like to cause waves, he is going to ask him if we can join him. To start.
The gentleman still looking at you. I'm sorry, What did you ask? What did you say?
So Draxor repeats himself. We join you here for camp.
You're not part of my group. This is not your tent.
I know see your group.
I went and saw. I'm sorry. What? Where is your handler? Where is your group? You're supposed to check in. They assigned you tents. How stupid can you be? You think you can just choose a tent of your own?
So at this point, Draxor kind of looks back at the rest of the group.
That's just turning the tent corner right now. Ully, of all the tents on this hill, that he had to just, hey, we're going to sleep in this tent. And I rolled the percentage. He decided to try and either bed with or kick out Jamoon.
I'll just I will just stop in my tracks and just try and keep the steam from rising too high and too fast from my head. I'll just stare.
By the way,
So this
Wow.
is your guide.
Draxor looks over at Ully and says, he called me stupid. Draxor's getting a little bit mad now.
He doesn't even know what that means. Don't worry about it. Jamon, fancy running into you here.
Right. I was simply getting my tent set up for my party, and this beast came over and said, hey, can we share? Do you not know you're supposed to go find your handler and you get assigned your tents? Thousands of people in this expedition. You think you can just choose your own tent?
Enough, Jamoon. Stop treating others beneath yourself. You know better than that. You are not one to talk. So, you can convey all that information respectfully, or keep your mouth shut, which I would prefer.
Just so you know, at this point, Draxor's swords are about halfway out of his sheath.
Ully's hand is towards you, just gonna calm him.
I'm going to roll perception. Eyebrow kind of raises, looks at Drakthor, looks back at Ully. And so when the guard come because a dragonborn attacked, an expedition liaison, you're taking the fall for this, yes?
At that point, I'm gonna step out front after dealing with the guards already. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't believe that we've met. You see, you're what I would consider a bit of an ass.
I'm pretty sure Draxor would have chuckled.
While these people, and I'm gonna like do this, aren't exactly my favorite people. You do not call anyone in this group stupid. I'm gonna give you until the count of 6. And I'm gonna start loading the pepper box 1 barrel at a time. I'm just gonna pull it out and break it open and
Until what? You're going to evict me from the tent that the expedition hierarchy assigned. Rinsiorin? Is that it?
oh no, at this point, we may go sleep wherever. You're going to apologize to my friend.
My humblest apologies, Mr. Dragonborn.
I will tuck the pepper box back into its holster and turn my back to him, pat Drakthor on his tall shoulder, and walk back.
Draxor.
I forgot myself, and you merely startles me.
As I'm walking away, I'm gonna go, it might be nice if you give him your spot.
Master, if you speak to one of the expedition representatives, they will get you in touch with your handler, who has your lodging assigned to you. Oh, he then adjusts his cloak, which bears the insignia of the expedition. They're going to start looking for this. They won't ask a second time if it's not seen. A good night to you. And
Draxor pushes his swords back into his sheath and turns around and looks at him and just says, "Thank you." And starts to follow Bram because he figures Bram probably knows where he's going. And
Just don't make me roll perception.
But now that he knows he's supposed to be looking for their handler, I will say that Draxor now is he's past this guy. He's just walking away from him, and he will look for the handler now.
Cinnamon, Minerva.
I will start looking as well.
I would say that yes, even though you were in the back, you didn't say anything. I'm going to assume that you were part of the group and witnessed this minor altercation.
Yeah.
Ully.
I'll take a second just to look at Jamun. Things may not have gone great, but I do not want to see you die. Do not do anything stupid out here. And I'll turn and walk away.
I mean, I would say likewise, but according to you, you messed up when you trained me. So... I mean, I would say likewise, but according to you, you messed up when you trained me. So...
Ully will stop. Take a deep breath. And just keep walking.
Can I roll some kind of an insight check to determine what that was all about between Ully and Jamun?
Cinnamon would probably just ask outright. What the heck was that all about?
$19.
And Ully, if you wish to cover that or wish to, you may roll. If not,
Yeah, can I just give it a try to roll to deflect?
sure.
What do you want me to roll?
Go ahead and roll me a
It depends. Are you gonna,
persuasion.
I was going to say, are you gonna lie to her or?
Yeah. Persuasion, whether you choose to try and lie or try and deflect altogether.
That one. You're a spill your life story to me, sir.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say with about average on the severity, you go to try and deflect, and you can't say anything. It's that awkward, you have your mouth open, like you're about to try and deflect, but no words come, so you're just kind of standing, you're walking awkwardly, just,
Cinnamon just gives you a look.
and eventually just sigh and just... So she
A look of concern.
She
and
can read
suddenly
you
I'm
a.
his
Oh,
therapist.
there's something there.
That was a former well, okay, he wasn't a former colleague. He was my apprentice, and the man couldn't live up to his potential. He had so much potential. He had a gift for the trade, and he could have done amazing things. But instead, what did he do? Instead of taking our adventure and taking the tools that I gave him and taking the skill and using it to show truth and to guide others, he leveraged it so that he, with the highest bid, could convince him to redraw the maps any way he wanted and give any nation any border they wanted. He defiled our purpose, he defiled our mission, he besmirched my name, he threw away all that I had taught him about the ethics and morality of the trade.
How many of us would hear this?
By this point, the group has kind of reconvened, trying to look for a liaison or someone. And you all hear this. I'd say with that nat 1, he's talking to Cinnamon, but it's when you realize I said that a little too loudly. So instead of one person hearing it, the entire group heard it.
So he said it out of frustration.
Oh, yeah.
Without realizing exactly his level of volume.
Yeah, the volume through that just got until he was like, my heart burns with anger every
So
time
just
I
like,
think.
And
like
then
raise our hand a little bit and be like, I'm right here. You're yelling at me.
I'm sorry.
And how
Let's
do you
just say
feel
that-
about that?
Show me on
Just say
this
our
doll.
And how does that make you feel, says the group therapist.
When did Cinnamon become the therapist?
Dr.
I don't
Cinnamon is
know.
here.
Bram.
Named like a hooker.
Do you
Ears
have
like
a charisma for that?
You have a. You look for the closest anything resembling authority. And
It's cinnamon.
you
It's
see,
right in front of you.
he looks for the closest thing representing legit authority. And sees a guard, the base of the one of the hills kind of going down towards that major body. I imagine you would go forward to try and ask questions.
Yep. So I will. Yeah. So I'll approach your guard. Yeah, you look official enough. We are looking for the handler people.
Oh, you're looking to check in. Right. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go down the hill right over there. There's a tent over there. You're going to check in there. Oh. You're in, so you're in. I'll give you a freebie. I would recommend you show up wearing the brooch, because we're going to have to start checking in a little bit, and you don't have your brooch. Well, unfortunately, then we're going to have to take care of you.
I'll open my jacket where I pinned it on, and open it far enough that my other badge shows as well.
Excellent, very good, sir. Just let the rest of your group know, just to have it visible, because we have to check. Yeah, just down the hill, that tent right over there. Look, give me your handler name to let you know where you're situated.
From where we are and where he is pointing, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like they're closer to the main encampment where, like, the brains are, is where check-in is, where the authority, the brass would be, and then spread out from that epicenter is where everyone else is. So you have to check in there, from what he's telling you, and then you'll be directed to wherever your actual
Got it.
final tent would be.
I'm going to lean in a little closer, and kind of tap the other badge and go, and I might also find...
I'm down the hill by the center.
At a good lad.
Unfortunately, that one is just a guard who sees a symbol they recognize, but is not a guard who could tell you what you want to know.
So he's also assuming just kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So at this point, I'll relay to the group, down the hill, let's go, and I'm just gonna make a beeline towards the tent.
Did you remind us to put our brooches out
Nope.
in plain sight? Okay.
Pretty sure Cinnamon already had hers out anyway. If I remember
I will-
correctly.
And Jamoon did that as well. So.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, Jamoon did say.
So, I think at that point, Draxor would at least be... His wisdom's high enough that he would put his brooch out on the outside of his tunic.
I have to add that to your character sheets because that is going to be the only thing that separates you from just a random person trying to dovetail into this. And Finn did say you don't want to be caught without it or think that someone's leeching. As it is a little past 10 o'clock, you get into the tent, the bottom of the hill. You see a mass as our scene for the evening will close. As you're signing in, each one of you, even you, Draxthor, you kind of look around this tent and for some of you more than others, something jumps out. Drakthor, you see brass, or what you would consider shiny. People, humanoids adorned in metallics and golds and silvers, or a clear jump up from what you've seen your own group wearing to what you've seen the common folk wearing. And your head going, okay, the heads of the tribes, the people in charge, or at least the people that are they're there because they have the most wealth. Even in your tribes, displays, open displays of wealth that wasn't trying to just kind of hide, still speaks to either extravagance or power. And you're seeing a lot of that. So in your mind, all right, this is the brains. This is like the council of this. Bazil, Cinnamon. Bazil, again, you see what you're assuming to be figureheads, the brains. Cinnamon, you definitely would recognize from the general's training and certain lectures he forced you to sit through to kind of ingrain regalia, insignias, certain sigils. This is military hierarchy from the entire continent here, including Arendulian generals, not your main general, but certain levels of high military status are here.
People I would recognize.
If only by tale and by insignias. This is no joke, very important people. Ully, you would definitely, I would say you will recognize by face at least 4 people in this room. Either sitting in their court at some time, working with a council in the past on contract. There are some faces in this room that you would personally know. Maybe not intimately know like a professional relationship, but by a passing cursory glance, you recognize. Also, individuals of power. But Bram and Minerva, you both see all of this at the same time, as well as Bram, 1 or 2 individuals also adorned with more prominent insignias of Castuma milling around.
Minerva's hood, that's been up the whole time because she's in a crowd, is going to come down just a little bit lower.
And as the scene closes on that, as you move the hood up, you acknowledge the power in this room. As a full elf walks past, and you feel your blood freeze. And that, on that moment of realization, is where we are going to close tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's 10 o'clock and don't want to keep us kids up later than we have to be.
That's right. Us old folks need sleep.
Yeah, so thank you again. This is we got Dennis back, so we actually had a full crew tonight. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week for the next chapter. Again, we are the Holy Rollers. God bless. Have a great night.
Have a good night.